10 years of Five Nights at Freddy's. If I go to Google real quick and I check the release date for Five Nights at Freddy's 1, you will see that it was August 8th, 2014, which was exactly 10 years ago yesterday. The reason this video is uploaded today is because I don't upload videos on Thursday. But to double check that I did not actually miss this anniversary, because this is actually very special to me, let me pull up my phone. You can see right at the top, this is recorded on August 8th, so I don't want to hear any complaints that I missed the anniversary, because I am here on the dot. I'm just not going to get this video out today because I have other shit to do. So in order to celebrate this incredible milestone, I thought, why don't we just play a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's, the original classic game. And while playing the game, I'm just gonna talk to you guys about my experience with FNAF, how I got into the community and all that kind of stuff. And let's just have a good time together, honestly, because it's been a while since I've played this game, considering... Oh, God forbid! I can hear the volt spikes from here, my guy! Well, anyway, let's go new game and let's go night one. So, I basically just want to use this video to talk about my story with this game, how I got into FNAF, because it's actually a pretty interesting story, because I didn't get into FNAF in, let's just say, the most normal way. And we immediately got our trusty phone call. I should probably just get a drink or something, because, well, you only need one hand for this game.
Hello? Oh, hello? I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night.
Cool. Good for you, don't care. Goodbye. So the way that I got into Five Nights at Freddy's, it was actually a pretty interesting story. Back in 2015, during summer, I went to a summer camp because I really wanted to go to a summer camp just once in my life because I wanted to see what it would be like. And so I was staying at my dad because my parents are divorced, if you didn't know. They've been divorced ever since I was like 3 years old. And so the way we used to handle things is, for example, during the summer holidays, I would spend half of them with my mom and half of them with my dad. So I was staying 3 weeks with my dad, and I told them before that I really wanted to visit a summer camp at some point. So my dad actually came to me and walked me through a bunch of summer camps that were happening close to us that I would be able to go to. And I eventually picked one where I went for a week. The summer camp itself, I'm not gonna lie, it was shit. It was not great. The people were terrible. The location was good, but just the experience overall was meh at best. But I did meet a very good friend of mine halfway through that summer camp. And that guy actually had Five Nights at Freddy's installed on his phone, which from time to time he would pull out and just play Five Nights at Freddy's on it. And I got hooked pretty quickly because I saw him play it multiple times. And every single time I thought, this game looks really, really dope, even though I don't understand anything. So I would just watch him play it, and I would play it a few times myself on his phone. And I got hooked pretty quickly. Eventually, I realized he also had the other games. He had Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and 3 installed on his phone as well. And so we tried those as well. What the hell? Hey, I kind of forgot that could happen. Jeez, it's been a while since I've seen that effect. And so I also tried Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and 3 a few times. And that was basically my first step into the Five Nights at Freddy's community and the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Then, after I left summer camp, I think like 2 days before I left summer camp or something like that, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 actually came out. It had just released. And so what I wanted to do, because people were telling me at this camp that apparently Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was easily going to be the scariest one. And me being, well, how old was I back then? I think it was like 11 or something like that. So me being like a very curious 11-year-old, I was like, hey, I really... Uh-oh, Bonnie's gone. Okay, Bonnie's right at the door. So I was very, very curious. So I wanted to look up some Five Nights at Freddy's 4 gameplay on YouTube, which is exactly what I did. And fun fact, that is actually how I discovered Markiplier's channel, because his Five Nights at Freddy's 4 videos were the first thing that showed up. So I started watching his playthrough of it, and I could confirm Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was fucking terrifying. So I started getting a bit more in-depth into into the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, basically. Hello. I started to watch more videos on the game. I started to learn more about like the story and what's going on behind the scenes of the game and things like that. That's essentially how I got into Five Nights at Freddy's, and ever since I've been such a nerd of the story. There have been periods in my life where I just haven't like touched the FNAF games or the FNAF community, I guess, at all for like a very long period of time. For example, right before I got back into Five Nights at Freddy's, when I started the FNAF series on my channel, which was like 2 years ago by now. God, he just won't go away, will he? He's a persistent son of a bitch. Look at him. Finally, he dipped. Oh, hi, Bunny. Jesus. Well, that's a thing. No need to fucking throw me off like that. Jesus. I don't know you mean well, but like, goddamn. Settle down, would you? Okay, so you're both in there. That's completely fine, because that's far away from me. And there he is again. My god, stop creeping me out like that. And then I'm gonna go to this camera, and then I'm gonna go back. Never mind, she's still like that. I thought it was gonna go back to being in the other position that he was in. But never mind. He just really wants to creep me out. He just really likes doing that. Chica's in the restrooms. That's fine by me. I think I just saw Bonnie on the other camera. If they could come back up. Okay, Foxy's peeking his head. Yeah, Bonnie's in there. And that's the night. Okay. So that was basically my introduction to Five Nights at Freddy's as a game and as a gaming series. And it was fucking hell, man. Golden Freddy, would you just piss off? Yeah, I know. Phone call, phone call. I'll listen to like the first 3 words and we'll just cut it off. Come on.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Well, if you're hearing this and you made it to day 2, congrats. I won't talk quite as long this time since Freddy and his friends tend to become more active as the week progresses. It might be a good idea to peek at those cameras while I talk, just to make sure everyone's in their proper place, you know.
They're not. Yeah, I muted the phone call. Okay, so Chica's off stage, Bonnie's still on stage, so we're good on that front. I do kind of need to keep checking Mr. Fox, but other than that, we should be okay. And Bonnie's gone. Never mind. Where'd Bonnie go? Okay, Bonnie's in there. Great. Now I can't even do that anymore. One thing that I do remember doing that I'm really sad, like, is not really as popular anymore. God, if you're gonna keep doing that, at least just show me Golden Freddy so I can put it in the fucking thumbnail. This game, it holds up very well, I will say that. Even 10 years later, this is still creepy as shit. Easily one of the best games of its era. Right up there amongst games like Outlast and a bunch of other games. Just timeless fucking classics. I do wonder, why do you think this series, the Five Nights at Freddy's series, is the one that got memed as hard as it did? Because games like Outlast, for example, didn't get memed nearly as much. People don't really play those anymore. And you could make the argument that it's because FNAF is still making games, but at the same time, like, the Outlast Trials came out, like, not even that long ago. So it's definitely still trying to hold up its name, so I don't... God damn it. One thing that I do have to say that I remember was a huge thing in the FNAF community years and years ago that has, like, significantly fallen off since, but I really wish it would come back, is remember when everyone that was in the FNAF community, a bunch of, like, the YouTubers and stuff, were making these, like, animations about the Five Nights at Freddy's characters. That was so much fun. I remember, like, one creator that I watched specifically that did it so many times was... I can't remember what his name is. It was like Zaiku37 or Zajku37. It's a Polish creator, I believe. And he had this massive series on Five Nights at Freddy's, like, source filmmaker stuff. And it was so good. I think he still does it, but not as many people watch it anymore because nowadays it's, like, really convoluted. And it's a bunch of, like, magic stuff that he brought into it, which I'm just not a big fan of. But back in the day, it was just, like, basically a series about basically the Five Nights at Freddy's characters living their normal lives outside of active hours. So, like, whenever the night guard isn't here and they have the whole, like, establishment to themselves, what these animatronics would do, and it was so much fun to watch. There was also another creator. Oh, hello, Chica. Haven't seen you yet. There was another creator that did a similar thing, but he basically had a series where the Five Nights at Freddy's characters would do, like, truth or dare challenges. He might still be doing that, honestly. And it's just creators like that. They were everywhere back then. There were so many, and they were all so good. Nowadays, it's significantly fallen off, and I can definitely understand why, because, you know, interest has shifted and people have grown out of it, and the FNAF fanbase also just isn't the same as it was anymore, so I completely understand it, but man, do I miss it. It was so much fun. I don't think you guys understand. I remember there's one video in specifically, I believe this was the first video that I watched that was uploaded by this Zaiku37 guy. It was a very popular animation of his, or not an animation, but a source filmmaker video called The Final Plan. That one, you know, honestly, if you guys want to, I might unironically upload a separate video reacting to that video because it holds such a special place in my heart and I really want to go revisit it, so I might do that. Not only was it the first video of its kind that I watched, it was also, I think for that creator, it was kind of like a turning point because that was the end of one of his, like, seasons, I believe. And then the next season was where everything started, like, basically started to kick off and transition into what it's become today. Oh, hey, Foxy. Sticking your head out, are you? You can do that all you like, buddy, because I'm out of here in just 1 hour. And then I won't be here anymore, and that's gonna be awesome. Hey, and we beat the second night. Yippee! But yeah, 10 years of Five Nights at Freddy. Honestly, now that I know about this game and now that I've been involved with it for so long, as much as I didn't really enjoy that summer camp that I went to that much, I'm so glad that I went there because that's what made me discover this game, and I am so glad I did. Not only has it done wonders for me, not only has it brought me years of entertainment, not only has it done wonders for my channel, it's just a fantastic game series and I love it to death. Hope you enjoyed this video, hope you enjoyed Five Nights at Freddy's as much as I do, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move